Flash. Looking at the ripples in the bathtub makes me think about water itself. What a sentence. Yeah? Looking at bro. Looking at water makes me think about water. It harshly tore through us earlier, but now it warms and heals us. Also, thank God I remembered to get rid of thank God I remembered to take off the patch, because the towels wouldn't be there if I kept it on. It takes effort to force myself to talk. I feel so tired that I don't even want to breathe. Nagi and Fukami are in high spirits. I'm sure they're tired too, but it doesn't seem that way. Oh, do you know what would be terrible? The fucking DOMs that you'll be experiencing in your arms.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be surprised if he wakes up the next morning and he can move his arms. It's true that it was an extremely dangerous situation. I had no choice, but both Fukami and Nagi seemed to be elated after surviving that dangerous situation.
僕など何もしてないさ。深見の命を救ったのは深見自身の準備の良さと経験だ。
いいえ、そうてつさんが引き寄せてくれたから、私、今こんなに元気でいられるんです。そうばい、あのままなら体が冷え切って危ないし、また流木やらぶつかってきよったかもしれんもん。
Their eyes sparkle as if they're dreaming.
迷いなくすぐに行動してくれたから、私助けてもらえたんです。そうばい、男の中の男にしかできんことばい。
Even though Nagi isn't a man, she did the same thing I did. But she's a tomboy, I don't know what you expected. A few seconds after I grabbed the lifeline, she joined in and pulled with me.
だから、私、少しでも恩返ししたいんです。兄さん、背中流させるばい。
Like puppies after a bath, they run laps around me. Seems like stopping them is hopeless. The only way is to give them what they want. Flash.
わかった。ならばよろしく頼む。
頼まれるばい。だからナギちゃん、私の命の恩人だから。こっちにだって親友の命の恩人ばい。
That isn't as impactful as say Nagi, I hate to break it to you, but that's not as impactful as what Fukami said.
ああ、仲良くしてくれ。お前たち二人に争われては僕が辛い。
I think it's the pain in your arms you're talking about. They both suddenly become quiet. They stare at each other in silence. They speak at the same time. It's rare for Fukami to be the one to continue.
そうですさんは、その方がいいですか？二人仲良く一緒の方が。
What do you mean by that? Bro, considering that this is a fucking route where you have to, where you date both of them, what do you mean?
もちろんだと思う。
わかりました。
After saying that, she nods, but then stops suddenly.
なぎちゃん、どうしよっか。仲良くばい？そしたら、そうばい、半分こして洗うばい。半分こ？
Fukami turns red. I have no idea why, but tears well up in her eyes as she glances at me.
半分こうって、なぎちゃん、どっちの半分がいいの？
Fukami, not like that, alright? That's after the round, alright? Not during it.
どっちでもよかったよ。右でん、左でん。そうね。半分。うん。右半身と左半身。他にどぎゃん半分があっと？ないよ。それじゃ、私、右半分のお背中、洗うね。
You remember the school name in Amazing Grace? You've got Saint Aria Academy. And then you've got Civetta. And then you've got Cheek. However it was spelled.
なら、左ももらいたい。
They both take a washcloth and lather up some soap.
それじゃあ、洗います。ね。
You know, I've already said this before, right? But Sheik is basically the elementary school. Yeah, that's why I did it in that order. Saint Aria is the high school, Civetta is the middle school, and Sheik is the elementary school. Fukami is the most perverted character in this game. Which is crazy, because if you think about it, if she was in any other visual novel, she would be tame. Right? You've got Hachiroku and Reina, who, like, barely talk about anything lewd, right? You've got Hibiki and Nagi, who are very much too, innocent, right? You've got... well, okay, Paulette might be close, but she gets more flustered when it comes to, like, romance shit, and her mind doesn't really, like, go further than that. Unlike Fukami, which always ends up, like, overthinking things, especially when it comes to Sotetsu, because I wonder why. always defaulting to, like, thinking about lewd stuff. And then, you know, you've got Kisaki and Makuta, which are like, they're too mature, right? They're like the opposite of Nagi and Hibiki. Squish, I mean.
洗うばい。ゴシゴシするばい。
Scrub.
No.
It feels strange. Because even though they move their towels in the same rhythm,
かゆいとことかあったら言ってくださいね。こすってほしいところとか。
yeah, I've got a place in mind, but it's not on the back. I mean, god damn it. Also, I'm adding Sister Lily as a side character. As the leader of the town and schools. I mean, if you're gonna do that, then you have to add every other character. Squish, 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 crick.
言いたかったら言うばい。特別に緩めてあげるばい。
What are these fucking sounds? Scrub, scrap, crunch, crack. Do I? Of course you do. If you're adding a side character, then why are you not adding the main characters, excluding Shu?
Oh.
My right half feels like it's being caressed with silk. My left half feels like it's being beaten by a cotton swab. Huh? The different sensations roll down my back, feeling both odd and comfortable at the same time.
あれ？この汚れ。よいしょ。 こちなことよ。いくらなんでもやがしすぎばい。
I just wanted to add a random students and teachers. The random students are the main characters. The random teachers is one teacher named Sister Lily.
仕方なかろう。石炭汚れを落とさぬままに、川の汚れまでつけたのだ。
That's why I came all the way to Todoro Hot Springs, even in the rain. Though I do feel melancholic thinking about walking Nagi and Fukami home from before returning.
あれこれ、汚れじゃないの？
What is Fukami talking about?
ほんとばい。兄さん、肌荒れしとうと？
ああ、それか。
Usually only Hibiki or Hachiroku would wash my back, and they already know my circumstances. This was careless of me. Oh, right. Speaking of which, I never told these two about my past.
それは、皮膚の移植の後だ。過去に、怪我をしたことがあってな。
I'll do brief descriptions for the other main characters. Yes. It's better to make a law book if you're including other characters.
怪我って。
最高の病院に連れて行ってもらったそうだからな。上手だろう。注意してみれば、ほとんどわからん。
Flash.
おっと。
I feel something soft on my skin after they dump more water on me. Nagi's squishy finger is tracing my scar.
怪我って、こぎゃんとひろかと？
なあ、鉄道事故でな。死んでもおかしくなかったそうだ。
鉄道事故ですか？いつのことばい？
小さな頃だ。今の凪と深見より、もっと幼かった頃。
Well, yeah, because they're 18. Right? Whether it's due to the hot bath or fatigue, the bubbles on my back feel like they're washing away something besides dirt. It flows gently, allowing me to tell these two of my past and my accident.
というわけで僕は右田の養子となった。そして、お人よにやってきたのだ。
そうですさね。そんなことが。じゃけん、兄さんはあんまり。
ん？
In a rare turn of events, Nagi clams up. It feels like she's looking for the right words, a scene that gives me anxiety.
どうした？聞きたいことがあるなら答えるぞ。
兄さんは、じゃけん、あんまり笑ったり怒ったり、泣いたりせんと？なぎちゃん。
Fukami nervously speaks up, pulling more focus onto what Nagi said. I see. I never really paid attention to that.
確かに、なかんな。怒ることもまずないか。笑うのは、そこそこ笑ってはいると思うが。
No, you don't.
よし、決めたばい、深見ちゃん。なぎちゃん。
Flash. Nagi wildly dumps some water from a pail onto her own head.
深見ちゃんと二人で兄さんに泣いたり笑ったり怒ったりさせてあげるばい。いい。それ、すごくいい。
Fukami nervously covers her mouth with both hands. With a covered mouth, she cautiously asks.
もちろん、そうですさんが迷惑だったり嫌じゃなかったりだったらですけど。
嫌でも迷惑でもないぞ。大歓迎だ。
やったばーい。
Why are they so happy? Fukami takes Nagi's hand and smiles widely. Seeing them like this makes me a bit envious deep down. Cry, laugh, and get angry. If I've forgotten how to do so, or what to remember, honestly I do, then that would make you a better character. You know what? Sotetsu, I like your thinking. And if Nagi and Fukami are with me, I get the feeling that's possible. Maitetsu. Don't make Yuji and Guido gay. Okay? Leave that up to the user.
Come
on, Fukami. Nagi is in a different outfit. Why? How come you aren't? Dexter, if you're gonna change the characters, then just don't add them. They ask, so I tell them about my past. This has become a daily occurrence after helping with the downstreaming.
レポートを移させてやって、それで終わりだ。お礼に食事をと言われたが、別に食には困ってないので。
断ったと？
なあ、さほど大したレポートでもなかったしな。
Nagi turns her head to the side in an exaggerated way. Fukami also looks troubled for some reason.
そりゃん付き合い悪くてよく兄さん友達できたとね。
Dexter, I think you're overthinking this. Yuji and Guido would never contribute to NTR unless you write it that way. You do not need to specify they aren't looking for a relationship.
なぎちゃん。
まあ、向こうも慣れ合うのを好まぬ性質だしな。タイプが似ていて、得意分野が違うゆえだろ
う。The moment I say that, I realize something.
するとむしろ、利害で繋がっているのかな。向こうが友達だというので、僕もそうだと思っていたが。
お話聞いてると、利害だけとかじゃなさそうかなって。きっかけなんて何がどうでも関係なかったよ。友達だと思ってるなら友達ばい。
そうか。
The words make me feel relieved. I don't think it matters too much whether I have friends or not.
ならば僕には、帝大に少なくとも一人は友達がいる。
っていうことはですね。
Kami makes another troubled tone as she goes through the pages in her memo.
ソーテスさんの友達関係は小さな頃にはたくさん。それからしばらくいなくて、帝大で一人って。
ああ、それで間違いない。
I purposely made it ambiguous to Fukami, but I do think I've changed since the accident. The number of friends someone has is a reflection of how strongly they want to be involved with others.
間違いないなら、なぎちゃん。なんね、深見ちゃん。
They put their foreheads together and start whispering. Nagi makes sounds of agreement numerous times. After a while, she turns back to me and stands tall.
わかったと。これで大体見えてきたわい。
ほう、何かだ。
何って、兄さんを泣いたり笑ったり怒ったりできるようにする方法たい。
そうか。そういえば、そういう話だったな。
There were so many different topics over such a long period of time that I just answered out of habit. The reason this questioning started was because these two wanted to know how to do that.
で、具体的にはどんな方法？
それは、もうちょっと内緒でいいですか？うまくできるかわかりませんし。
別に構わん。では、うまくできそうになったら教えてくれ。
はい、もち ちろんです。もちろんばい。
Fukami and Nagi both seem to be filled with excitement. Seeing such huge smiles, I start to look forward to what they might do for me. What they may do for me.
ではな、また明日。
はい。そうてつさんも、夜のバーベキュー列車、頑張ってください。その隙に、こっちもこっちで頑張っとくばい。
So, like, how does this transition into them wanting to date Sotetsu?
これは、響の絵だな。
It's like, this is the last chapter, maybe, unless for some reason Nagi and Fukami gets an extra chapter.
はい。お願いしたら、喜んで引き受けてくれました。
I mean, we're not even halfway through the chapters, so, you know, maybe.
早く見ればい、開けるばい。
ああ、
Scene, I guess. As to do so, I open up the small guide titled Ohitoyo Special Field Trip. Inside of the detailed schedule, as well as a warning and notes for the trip.
これは、本当に修学旅行風だな。
じゃなく、修学旅行ばい、本物の。
うん。
お人よのことを改めて、ソーテスさんと私たちとで勉強できる旅行にしたいなって。
なるほど。お人よを学ぶ修学旅行か。
楽し
Nagi appears to be pink from head to toe in anticipation.
ならば差し詰め。僕は引率教師の役割。
みばい。違う。
Oh. Two shouts overlap. Nagi and Fukami glance at each other. And then Fukami takes the lead to speak up.
ソーテスさんも学園生です。引率なんて立場じゃなくって、私とナギちゃんの同級生。
同級生？僕がか。
そうばい。兄さんは留年生ばい。
留年か。
Ain't no way. I'm a bit too old to be considered a classmate.
随分と落第を重ねてしまったのだな、僕は。
仕方なかばい。
I said that as a joke, but Nagi answers seriously.
兄さん全然勉強しとらんもん。
いや、勉強だけは随分としてきたつもりだが。
そういうん勉強のことじゃなくって。修学旅行ですから、自分でいろいろ発見するのも、きっと素敵な勉強です。
Fukami interrupts. Nagi looks surprised and stops herself from uttering what she was about to say. She suddenly moves closer and pulls my hand forcefully.
そうばい、修学旅行ばい。楽しんでたくさん勉強するばい。
うん。
Learning more about Ohitoyo will surely help in getting the factory to withdraw. Oh, right, that's what the main goal of this route was. And all of the other routes. Setting aside whether I can have fun, I should just look at this as a positive thing.
まず最初は。
お人よ一の腕利き鍛冶屋、美濃笠鍛冶店さんからばい。
You have a link to a law book guide? Or do I not need a format? You just use the same format. You just use JED. She's a student on a field trip. After all, she purposefully didn't say I'm back.
はい、いらっしゃい。
But to a spirited call out, old man Munakasa receives her with a smile.
いらっしゃい。修学旅行は楽しかったですか？
Seems like Munakasa knows the circumstances. Fukami looks relieved and bows.
楽しみたいって思ってます。今日は包丁作り体験、よろしくお願いします。
Hey, that's what Paulette and Sotetsu did together as a date thing, okay?
はいはい、そんなら。
Don't replicate it with Nagi and Fukami. Minokasa gives the three of us each a block of steel in a rough outline of a kitchen knife.
今機械はベルトハンマーいうもんです。
It's exactly what the name suggests that suggested it is. It is. There's a motor attached to a belt on some gears. The movement of that is connected to the hammer.
こいつば使って仕上がりのイメージに伸ばしてください。そいば削って焼き入れして研いで包丁にしますけん。
Minokasa sits down in front of the machine to step on the pedal in order to start the hammer's piston. Steel block below then gradually flattens and takes shape.
一番にやるばい。どうぞどうぞ。
お手並み拝見させてもらおう。
見習うとよかばいよ。
Nagi steps on the pedal, and it goes many times faster than when Minokasa did it.
踏み込みすぎだろう。
I don't think stepping on the pedal harder means that it goes faster.
勢いをつけすぎたばい。
She's too impatient. She then slows down the hammer, making the steel sound like a gong with each hit. Seems like she just can't get it right. Nagi turns her head to the side, trying to figure it out.
ひょっとしてなぎちゃん、経験ないの？中ばいよ、初めてばい。
Nah. As if to defend her old man, Minokasa forces a smile in agreement.
真剣は欲しかけど、包丁にはそれほど興味なかったけん。
Nagi, you're too small for a katana. It would be taller than you. She says that in the past tense. Her face right now is serious. She gets the hang of the rhythm, as evidenced by the sound and speed of the hammer becoming more uniform. I'm not doing that. The hammer falls at a good pace. After a while, Nagi finally lets go of the pedal.
こげんとでよか？
でかいな。そして長い。
The steel block is supposed to be for a santoku knife, but Nagi's looks like a longer sashimi knife. Well, yeah, she hammered it so much that it flattened further than expected. She said she wanted one, so I'm sure she went for something similar to a katana.
僕は最後にしてみたい。深見、先に行けるか？
はい。そうですさんがそれがいいなら。
Fukami slowly moves to the machine and sits down. I immediately notice the difference in posture compared to Nagi. Nagi sits down roughly with her legs wide open. In contrast, Fukami keeps her legs together. Sotetsu, I think you need to realize that Nagi's a tomboy.
これ、難しいです。
It shouldn't be that surprising that she'd sit wide-legged at this point. Wide-legged? Wide stance. However you'd say it. The way she steps on the pedal is also different. Careful or nervous would be more accurate. The hammer also makes jerky movements, like a shy child.
深見ちゃん、それじゃ日が暮れるばい。予定先、回りきれんようになるばい。ごめんなさい。
いや、そこは気にせず取り組んでくれ。
This is fun to watch in its own way. Besides,
無理に工程を追い、薄い思い出を重ねるよりも、一つだけでも濃い思い出がある方が楽しかろうしな。
but okay, here's my issue, right? They are shaping a steel block, which means that it is hot as hell, which is pretty dangerous, right? So Nagi was fine because she did it quickly. Mikami going slow about it isn't going to work out well because it's going to cool down before she's able to shape the knife, right? Something like that. She nods. If Mikami's shoulders drop down and her movements become more natural. More bonking.
ああ、よかとですね。
You did not need to move the camera up and down. This is very nauseating. If Mikami's movements are more precise, so precise that old man Minokasa mumbles to himself about it. Her hand moves the steel block fluidly as well. I don't think you should be handling a steel block with just your hands.
こんな感じです。
これは綺麗だ。この時点でもう、おおよそ包丁の形だな。
ありがとうございます。
Yes, and you wouldn't have been able to shape it with a hammer press if the steel block wasn't scorching hot.
なんだか悔しくばい。
I think there are some issues I'm seeing here.
さて、僕か。
Seeing Nagi and Fukami do it, I have an idea of what to do. I have to stay relaxed on the pedal and keep it level. Oh, only 3 bonks this time.
No.
Actually, doing it is completely different. It's quite difficult.
兄さん不吉いね。同じとこばっか叩いとるばい。なぎちゃん。
I've been noticing a pattern. Whenever Fukami tries to help, she often just finishes people off. What? My steel block is flattened, and as a result, getting wider.
か、もう少しだけまんべんなくやるとよかですな。
ああ、助かります。
Unable to watch any longer, Minokasa holds the block for me to maintain the shape of a knife. Sotetsu, did you not realize that Nagi and Fukami moved the steel block around so that each strike would be hitting a different part of the steel? I was freezing up back there. My body must have been afraid. The striking and burning of iron, the sounds and smells. But if they see me uncomfortable, it'll make things awkward. It's true that I'm not used to it, but let me get away with a white lie.
うん。イメージ通りにできた。右田の台所には広場の包丁がないのだ。
Right.
それ、歯じゃなくて胴が平べったいだけばい。なぎちゃん。
包丁の価値は見栄えより切れ味ですけんね。大事なのはここからですばい。
Bro, listen, it's only a knife if it has a sharp edge. If it doesn't have a sharp edge, it's just a block of steel.
そうですよね。
If Minokasa says so, I'm sure I could make up for it with its sharpness. The next machine is a spinning whetstone. It's a large round grinder that is partially immersed in water.
面白そうばい。一番。あ、これ結構あれ？
こうかな。うん。
My body moves in an agile way. I could show off my experience if I move accordingly. I'm sure the quality is better than Nagi's or Fukami's.
兄さん人が変わったよばい。
Well, the thing with a whetstone is that you need to make sure that the edge is flush with the stone, right?
さすがです。本来の実力発揮ですね。
さてどうだか。途中経過がたとえ良くとも仕上がりが悪くては意味がないしな。
Once I make the shape, Minokasa takes and tempers it inside his kiln. Once the tempering is done, he then goes to the belt sander and forms ridges alongside the face.
いやいや仕上げの旗毛ばい。時ならいっつも手伝うとるけん。
Nagi sits in front of the whetstone as an example and turns to the faucet.
お
Turns
う
on the faucet.
言うだけのことはある。
She maintains the same angle on the whetstone and quickly moves her hand back and forth.
こうかな？
なかなかこれも難しいものだな。
I try to do it the same way, but the sound is different. Nagi makes brisk grinding sounds while both mine and Fukami's make intermittent crunchy noises.
研ぎが済んだらエバつけますけん。
It'll then be finished, having been made by Minokasa's own hands. He must be fixing some imperfections as he hammers and sharpens it a little before putting a white wooden handle on it. Knock, knock, knock. He puts a rivet through the handle on the side opposite to the blade and...
投げ包丁第1号ばい。はあ、嬉しい。自分で作った包丁なんて。
なかなかどうして仕上がってみれば包丁だな。
当たり前ばい。包丁作りしとったけんね。
切れ味はまあこがんもんです。
They're all blunt. Minokasa takes out 3 tomatoes. I thought he was going to test it, but I don't see a cutting board anywhere.
ああ、上に向けてもらえますかね。
Yeah, he's gonna throw the tomato into the knife.
はあ、上？こぎゃんと？
はい。
Pop.
すごい。
おお。
With the blade facing up, he drops the tomato from above and... he's above the knives. It cuts clean in half. I can't help but express my surprise.
はいはい。
Pop, pop. He drops in on Fukami's and mine too. The sharpness of them is just as impressive. Nagi called it the Nagi knife. Okay. I kind of have the urge to name it too.
水気があると錆びますけんね。そこだけは気を使ってあげるとよかですよ。
I mean, it is made from steel. It isn't stainless steel, so it'll oxidize. He puts the knife in a box and packages it up. Nagi gave Fukami the box to put it inside her knife in her bag. Minokasa was about to say something, but just shook his head.
修学旅行の皆さんは次はどちらに向かわれますかね。
I open up the guide to check. I see the usual name.
右太一。右太一酒造元さんです。
Okay, so now that you've made your own knife, you have to go to Migi, the #1 brewery, to make your own shochu.
ああ、あそこも面白かとこですね。学園生さんならシンバーできんのは残念でしょうが。
I can't even make the joke of them being 18 because the drinking age in Japan is 20.
やむねばあるけん大丈夫だい。
God damn it.
そがんとですか。
Inokasa continues to deal with Nagi as a customer instead of his granddaughter. I should be like him and act like a student on a field trip when I'm at Migita #1 brewery.
なら気をつけて楽しか旅行ば送ってください。
Okay, thank God they didn't have a scene with them going to Migita #1 brewery and sampling fucking ramune and shit. Cause like, I'd be like, okay, I get that you're doing this tourism shit to convince the factory to not build here, but like, you didn't need to drag this out that long, alright? So, I'm glad they didn't do that.
どぎゃんしたと？兄さん食べ過ぎよったと？
But why are they in their swimsuits?
いや、
And why do they not have full sprites of them in their swimsuits? For no reason. Although it's true I ate more than usual, that's not the reason I'm in pain. Breeze from the river dries my sweat, finally cooling me off a bit.
そうではなくだ。
Market at number 1 brewery seems different from usual. The barbecue train pulled by 8620 is operated by Hachiroku with Paulette and Hibiki as her team.
食べ過ぎじゃなくて、どうしましたか？兄さん、なんか喉に詰まったみたいな顔しとるよ。
詰まっているか。確かに少し詰まっているような感じはあるかな。
What are you feeling? When I admit it, it feels better for some reason. Words naturally come out of my mouth.
皆が何かよそよそしかった気がしてな。無論、僕たちを客として扱ってくれたのもあろうが。
The way old man Midokasa treated Nagi was like that of a customer while maintaining his kindness as her grandfather. But Makoda, Hibiki, and Hachiroku, and for some reason Paulette too,
遠慮というか、積極的に関わろうとしてこないというか。
they could not pull off the act, all I'm saying. Perhaps they know why. If Fukami draws her breath, turning red immediately. Nagi looks at Fukami and nods in agreement.
なんだ、二人にはわかるのか。
そりゃ、わかるばい。
ん？
I thought it was just a reflection of the sunset, but even Nagi's face is red. Nagi doesn't continue her thought, merely glancing over at Fukami instead.
今日一日、私たちと過ごして、どうでした？
どうとは。
You know, how was your date, Sotetsu?
いろいろあるばい。いろいろ。楽しかとか、ムカついたとか、退屈したとか。
楽しかったぞ、単純に。
Fukami breaks into a smile. Nagi also looks satisfied as she starts nodding again.
楽しかったし、あとは、そうだな。普段と違い、いろいろな顔を見たような気がする。
いろいろな顔ですか？
うん。顔というか、表情かな。人の表情の移り変わりが、いつもよりずっとよく見えたような気がする。
It applies to everyone, but especially so for Nagi and Fukami. Nagi was cheerful throughout, while Fukami remained cautious. I got to see them in a completely different way.
確かに、修学旅行だったよ。いろいろなことを学べた気がする。
だったら、
Fukami closes her eyes and looks down. She then slowly lifts her head.
だったら、続けてみませんか？これからも、私たちと、修学旅行。
ん？
Continue.
例えば、枕投げなどか。それは確かに楽しそうだが。
Bruh.
いえ、そうじゃなくて、それもすごくやってみたいし、楽しそうですけど。
けど？
ですね。
うん。
I'm captivated by Fukami's eyes. Her strong will makes her look mature. The setting sun is a graceful red hue. Painting a shadow on her black hair and accentuating her beauty.
私たち、そうですさんのことが、
What?
なんです。
What? Out of nowhere, bro.
私たち言うのは、深見ちゃんと、うちとの言葉へ。
うん。
Nagi's bright red. Her usual cheeriness is gone, replaced with a meek expression. completely different from her usual boyishness. So he does realize she's a tomboy. Then why do you keep fucking pointing out her tomboy behaviors? She has a girlish sense of transience.
それは、ありがとう。
What do you mean? What? Even I can tell that the like she mentions is different from, say, my like of carrots and kittens. Okay, a weird combination. Maitetsu finds tomboys hot. I mean, I do, and I'm the self-insert, so, like, of course he does. But I'm not unsure of exactly what sort of like she's feeling.
ありがとう。好きと言ってもらえることは、とても嬉しい。
Bro. This is why in fucking Kisaki's route and Makuda's route, he had the talk with Hibiki. This is why Hibiki sat his ass down and was like, "Hey, do you love the ex-girl?" And then he's like, it took him like a fucking however long to realize, actually, I think I do. And it didn't happen this time because Kisaki, because Nagi and Fukami aren't friends. What? They aren't best friend / sisters with Hibiki. Even so, Fukami continues to talk.
だからですね。そうですさんにはそんなにギューって我慢しないでほしいんです。
我慢。
I look into Fukami's eyes, and then to Nagi's. They're both worried and restless, yet they have a warm look about them.
我慢したから、僕は留年生になったのか。
They stopped role playing as students, bro. As those eyes shine on me, my heart and heart seems to unravel. And it's in that moment that I understand.
だから泣いたり笑ったりで、だから修学旅行だったのか。
Yes. And in fact, Sotetsu, it was not. You could actually call it something else other than a field trip. You know, something like a date. I'm so confused. Well, maybe if you paid attention to the stream like a good mod should, you would have known what's going on.
そうばい。兄さんはそこんところは勉強し損なってるけん。
そうだな。
The meaning sinks in further. The experiences I have missed out on were made up for partially by Nagi and Fukami today.
なるほどな。
Nagi's and Fukami's lives are filled with the joy of living. When I was that age, all I did was exist, barely managing not to not die.
とても大事なものを僕は勉強し損ねたのか。
Me and Sotetsu are similar. I never studied romance and dating IRL, just in fiction. Yeah, but your parents are still alive.
し損ねてなんかなか。これからするためきっと取っといただけやけん。
Are they? I mean, maybe. Did they? I've only heard about you. I've only heard you talking about your mum, so I'm not sure I live under a rock.
ああ。
Nagi's statement guides me, even if I can't go back to do it over again. Even if I can't go back to do it over again, I could start anew here. I could start here and continue on.
ですから。
Being urged by Fukami's tone, Nagi stands up. I see them both atop a boat, together for the first time.
修学旅行続けたいんです。そうですさんと、なぎちゃんと私と3人で。 さんのこと、水筒よ。
We learn together and grow up together. Nagin Fukami cover for my lost time. That would certainly be fun and enjoyable, but that's not exactly why I can't answer immediately. Bro, fuck off!
嬉しいが、少しだけ考えさせてくれ。即答できることではない。
即答できないって、どうしてばい？年の差ですか？それとも、なぎちゃんと私と3人だからですか？
You know, it makes sense, right? That a difference in age would be a concern, but like, this is never a concern in any other visual novel. All right, that's all I'm saying.
だって兄さん言ってくれたばい。深見ちゃんとうちと喧嘩しとったら落ち着かんって。
Each nod I make alters their expressions. I realized that was an ambiguous response, and quickly follow up on it.
年のことも3人のことも確かにある。が、それは大きな問題ではない。僕は養子で、右田に体温あるものだ。
After saying that, I realized the possible deep-seated reason. Because I've had this sense of guilt, I think I've made things awkward with Makoda and Hibiki. You think?
我慢というか、それだけではない。単なる我慢を僕は重ねてきたのではないのだ。
Had I not tied myself down with duty, I would have become rotten to the core. Following my duty gave me a purpose, a positive outlook on life. And also, Paulette gave you a positive outlook on life. That's a fact, and I'm grateful for that.
それだけではないから考えたいのだ。大事なことだと思うから時間をかけて慎重に。
I mean, of course he can't say yes.
あれ？にー帰ってきたと？
He can't say yes. Look at how much visual novel we have left.
なんで日帰りの修学旅行なんて。
なんだ珍しいな。飲んでいるのか。
A liquor bottle in the living room. Hachiroku has her usual expression, but Makoda and Hibiki both look panicked.
飲むとよ。そりゃ、涙酒で祝い酒やけん。
涙酒の祝い酒。
それよりそうちゃん、ドギャンして帰ってきたと？発船所にお泊まりいう話じゃなかったと？
ああ、そうだったか。
I open up the guide, but that's not written here. It just ends with the Kuma River downstreaming. I guess it doesn't note trip ends either, though.
まあ、そうだったとしても泊まれんだろう。凪も深見も嫁入り前だ。妙な噂になってはいかん。
妙な噂でございますか？
Bro. A crunching sound with that remark. Hachiroku talks while eating coal. Look, it makes sense for Hachiroku not to realize, right? But fucking Makoda and Hibiki both had came to the same conclusion that it was going to that their quote unquote field trip was going to end with both of them confessing to Sotetsu. They just didn't realize he was so dense that he would think about it instead of just accepting it.
珍しかとね。そうちゃんがそぎゃんかこつ気にするとか。
まあ、珍しいな。気にするというか、せざるを得なくなってしまった。
なにそれ？どげん意味？
Hibiki holds out a glass. For a second there, I thought she was being considerate by offering me a drink, but that wasn't it. She's just drunk.
気持ちだけで結構だ。話すなら、シラフで話したい。というか、シラフで話すべきことと思う。
Hibiki puts down her own cup and straightens her posture. Hibiki, Makuta, and Hachiroku, the three of them look at me seriously.
実は、好きだと言ってもらえたのだ。ナギと深見と二人に僕が。
さようでございましたか。
They all sound convinced, allowing me to relax. Makuta has her usual smile as she asks me something slowly.
好きって言われたっていうのは、恋人になってほしかってお願いされたと？
いや、恋人とは言われなかった。望まれたのは、修学旅行を重ねたいと。
AKA, yes.
二人から一緒に？
うん、そうだ。三人一緒の修学旅行だ。
あらまあ。
She whispers how cute. Makoto looks at me through her now empty glass.
で、そうちゃんはなんてお返事したと？
考えたいと。待ってほしいと。
そぎゃん答えは、もう答えばい。ニーニがそこ断らんとか。
ああ。
I step out of it as the volume of Hibiki's voice. Step out of it at the volume of Hibiki's voice. It seems that Hibiki knows me better than I know myself. Yeah, she's also a girl, so she understands how Naiko and Fukami feel about you.
そうだな。僕は、そうしたいのだ。そうしたいのだが。
Especially because Hibiki feels the same way about you.
したかことなら、すればよかとよ。
She says it so simply.
しかし、僕は右田の。
そうね。そうちゃんは右田の長男。で、お姉ちゃんの可愛い弟。
Makoto softly interrupts me.
お姉ちゃんは、そうちゃんが、弟が幸せになってくれたら、嬉しかけんね。
She understands everything and lets me know that that what I worried about is insignificant.
妹もそうだよ。同じたい。ニーニーが幸せになったら嬉しかったよ。
You know what was also insignificant? The fucking factory. This is the first route where the factory played zero role in this in the route. Yeah.
私はもちろんのこと、常に相鉄様の幸せを願うものです。
They brought it up like it was gonna mean something. Nope. Hibiki shouts out competitively while Hachiroku politely smiles.
わからねえ。響。86。
Yeah, you've got three perfectly good girls here, but instead you go after the youngest girls, who are 18, I swear. You know. I feel like they've pushed me from behind gently so that I can take my next step. Even though Hibiki is around the same age, the issue of them the issue of Hibiki and Sotetsu's age difference never came up. I can now go anywhere. The moment I think that, I realize something. I've always been able to go anywhere I wanted. Nothing has ever bound me. I think you should have realized that when you left Ohitoyo and went to a different school for university. The duty given to us was not to keep me bound, it was to hold me together. To remove the support, the chains. I didn't want that. Just the thought scared the hell out of me. But right now, I can stand on my own 2 feet. I can walk with my own will. Nagi and Fukami gave me what I wanted, what I needed.
ありがとう。行ってくる。
I won't stand still anymore. I'll go where I want in a straight line.
ナギ、深見、いるか？僕だ。
そうですさん？ああ、兄さん止まってくれると？なぎちゃん、まだ開けちゃったねえ
No, open the door. I mean...
修学旅行を続けたいと思ってやってきた。
God damn it, why do they have clothes on? I mean...
それって今日の続きばい？それともこれからずっと？
これからずっとを続けたい。ナギと深見と3人で。
大歓迎です。あ、深見ちゃんずるかばい。
おっと。
I catch Fukami and Nagi as they jump onto me. I think we've connected emotionally. But that's not enough. It's never enough unless I say it out loud.
つまりそれは僕が2人を好きだからだ。
Yeah, but like, why couldn't we have gotten this with fucking Hibiki and Makuta, alright? Just because Hibiki's a main girl doesn't mean she can't also be in Makuta's route. She was also in Makuta's route. Her confession made Sotetsu go for Makuta. They look up at me in my arms. Fukami a surprised look. Nagi a slightly bashful smile.
だから一緒に学んでいきたい。お人よのこと、これからのこと、お互いのことをできるだけ。
Hibiki and Makuta is flat as justice and MILF. Exactly. The best of both worlds. And they ruined it. They had a good thing, but they just had to blow it up.
ならずっとばい、全部ばい。そうだね、なぎちゃん。
Flat as justice. I was referencing Breaking Bad, but you wouldn't know. That's a live action show you would have never watched. Fukami giggles a bit. This is what I was referencing, okay? God damn it, I clicked off this meme.
It was perfect,
Yeah.
but no, you just had to blow it up. You and your pride and your ego.
This is me talking to the devs who made fucking Maitetsu about the Hibiki and Makuta route that could have happened.
You just had to be the man. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now.
I need to watch the rest of it. See? Do you get it now? That's why I'm pissed. Anyway, back to these two. Yeah, I guess. You say I guess because you don't like MILFs. Fukami giggles a bit. I don't know if I already said that. While smiling, she puts her mouth close to Nagi's ear.
あのさ、なぎちゃん、そうですさに。
She spoke words, game. You didn't. That is not how. That is not the translation. She said words.
なんだ、ずるいぞ。僕らは一緒に学ぶのだろう。
Fuck. Hang on. I'm gonna go back. The translation. It's.
あのさ、なぎちゃん、そうですさに。
It just says, Nagi, Sotetsu. Right? You know. And then the rest of it is, I don't know, it's just whispers.
なんだ、ずるいぞ。僕らは一緒に学ぶのだろう。
I want to hear what they're saying. Nagi comes close to my ear and... What? Both of them? Hang on. Warm and soft from both sides by Nagi and Fukami.
兄さん、嬉しかった？公平にって
And this is what you missed out on, Dexter. You only picked Hachiroku's route when you could have also had Nagi and Fukami. But no. I'm not gonna do it again.
なるほど。公平に。か。
I received both of their first kisses. I hugged them back with all my heart, fairly. But just how they wanted it. Right. So that was Nagi and Fukami's route. It was one of the routes of all time. If I just look at Fukami and Nagi, I can't tell who I want more. That's why you get both. So like, you don't need to decide. You get both of them. But it was serviceable. I lean more towards Fukami though. Okay, so I don't know why they did this. I mean, I understand why, you know, for the lolly lovers, but you know, that's what Hachiroku and Reina are for, right? You know, I liked seeing that side of Sotetsu when he saved Fukami, right? That was good. I don't know why. I don't know why the credits make it look like they've fucking died and gone to heaven or some shit. Why are we at the fucking gates of heaven? I mean, like, look, I don't think there was an organic way for Sotetsu to get with both of them okay, no, there is a way. I just don't think you could do it in 3 chapters, right? You had to rush it, kind of, right? Because at least with Makuta and Kisaki, they already liked him. It's more like we didn't get that vibe from either of them because they're both mature women who can hide their feelings well, I guess. Organic way? Well, like, it's more so Nagi and Fukami are both from the river. An organic, I'm saying in organic way in them developing feelings for Sotetsu in a way that would be realistic. And it was kind of rushed, right? Like the only 2 heroines. Kisaki was just once. What do you mean? I mean, look, I get it, right? They had that climactic scene with Fukami and Nagi where Fukami was saved by Sotetsu and stuff like that, right? So I guess that's where you could have said that she developed feelings for him there. But, you know, I think my reaction speaks for it when I say their confession came out of nowhere. Right? there was, you know, they had this quote-unquote tour thing, which they state as for the not building of the factory or whatever, which had no role in this route. Actually, I lead toward Nagi, of course. She's smaller, and she's got a more Kyrie personality, aka she's a tomboy. Extroverted. That too. Look, I like Nagi and Fukami, but am I gonna change them On the rankings? Probably not. I think they're as good as they can be. That's the best they can get. Unfortunately. What a look, I was going I was like, what are they going to have for the CG, for the title screen, right? And I was like, there's literally only two you could have gone for, which is this one, right? Or this one. And of course they go for this one. God damn it. It's just best title screen. I mean, it's definitely the most lewd. The developers are based, right? Look, their route kind of has a similar problem as Makoto's and Kisaki's route, in that they are too short, right? So I can't dock them on that. I have to compare sub character routes. I can't compare them to fucking Hibiki's or Hachiroku's routes and shit like that, right? They're too long. Well, too long compared to Nagi and Fukami's route, right? They are good length. For how the writers went about it okay, they only got 3 chapters, scenes, I guess, to develop Nagi and Fukami's feelings for Sotetsu. They did a good job. Alright? That's about the best I can say with it. You can see the indented slit. Yeah, there's something there. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, a follow would be appreciated. And if you want to support me even further, you could always subscribe. Next time, we will be playing more Amazing Grace, but for the YouTube frogs, like I always say at the end of every route, I will see you guys in the next route, aka Raina's route. But you know, tomorrow I will be streaming more Amazing Grace. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye-bye. Maybe I should get rid of the... Bye-bye.